Let's be honest, connecting all your branches and data centers to the critical apps you're running in AWS, Azure, or Google Cloud, it's one of the biggest networking challenges out there today. I mean, how do you guarantee performance, make sure everything is rock-solid secure, and somehow keep costs under control? Well, the answer lies in a really powerful integration: Cisco SD-WAN with Cloud Interconnect. And in this deep dive, we are going to break down exactly how it all works, piece by piece.
All right, here's what we've got on tap. First, we're going to lay out the core connectivity problem that, let's face it, we're all dealing with. Then, we'll introduce Cloud Interconnect and its smarter cousin, SD-CLI, as the answer. After that, we'll get into the good stuff, how Cisco SD-WAN layers on top to bring intelligence and automation. We'll do a quick deep dive into two key partners, Megaport and Equinix, and then we'll wrap it all up with the most important part: how this stuff actually works in the real world. Okay, let's jump right in. Section 1, the modern connectivity problem. This really gets to the heart of why we even need a new architecture in the first place. For years, network folks have been caught in this classic dilemma. On one hand, you've got the public internet. Sure, it's everywhere and it's cheap, but it's totally unpredictable. You get high latency, packet loss. You just can't run your business-critical apps over it. On the other hand, you've got your traditional MPLS. Super reliable, super secure, but man, is it expensive. It's also incredibly rigid, and getting a new circuit can take months. That completely defeats the whole purpose of being agile in the cloud. So neither of these options really cuts it anymore for a modern business. So if the old ways are broken, what's the fix? Well, this brings us to a whole new foundation for cloud networking. Cloud Interconnect and its evolution, Software-Defined Cloud Interconnect, or SDCI for short. So what in the world is Cloud Interconnect? The easiest way to think about it is like having your own private, high-speed highway that goes directly to the cloud. It's a service that gives you this dedicated, low-latency, high-availability connection right from your on-prem network to the big cloud providers. And here's the key part. It lets your private data center IPs talk directly to your private cloud IPs. It's like you're securely extending your network, making it all feel like one big, happy environment. Okay, now let's sprinkle in some of that software-defined magic. SDCI takes that private highway idea and just supercharges it with automation. Instead of being stuck with these static physical links, SDCI providers have a whole global network of points of presence, or POPs. So now, using software, you can spin up secure, on-demand connections from your sites to these POPs, and from there to basically any cloud you want. This creates this incredibly flexible, programmable foundation, we call it the network underlay, that brings that cloud-like agility to your actual network pipes. And this diagram, it just illustrates that concept perfectly. Look over on the left, you've got your various enterprise sites. Now, in the middle, you see the SDCI providers, like Megaport and Equinix. They act as this dynamic middle mile. That's that critical piece between your corporate network and the cloud's front door. Your sites just connect to their nearest POP, and the SDCI provider handles the rest, giving you that high-speed, private connection directly to your cloud platforms. And you get to completely bypass the messy, unpredictable public internet. The benefits you get from this are, well, they're immediate and they're huge. First, flexibility. You can connect any site you have, office, data center, you name it, over any kind of transport you've got, internet, MPLS, even 5G. Second is visibility. As soon as you move your traffic onto that private backbone, you get crystal clear end-to-end monitoring. But what I think is the real game changer is the on-demand connectivity. We're talking about provisioning new circuits in minutes, not months. This all adds up to true network agility, letting your infrastructure move just as fast as your business does. And the advantages don't stop there. They also hit performance and cost. These dedicated pathways mean much higher speeds and way lower latency, which translates to a much better, more consistent user experience. The pay-as-you-go model means you're not shelling out huge amounts of capital upfront. Plus, the direct cloud hookups can seriously slash those insane data egress fees, which, as you probably know, can be a notorious budget killer. So what you get is a high-performance, cost-effective foundation that we can then build all our smarts on top of. Let's actually trace a packet's journey on this diagram, just to see how it flows. So you've got a corporate data center on the left. It sets up a secure link to an SDI provider hub. Could be over MPLS, could be Ethernet. That hub is now your gateway. From there, traffic zooms over a private, high-speed connection directly to the cloud provider, totally avoiding the public internet. And notice this, that same hub can become a really powerful aggregation point for all your traffic, connecting different data centers or even giving you optimized internet access. Okay, so now we have a solid grasp of the SDCI underlay. That's our foundational transport layer. Now let's see how the Cisco SD-WAN overlay comes in and adds all the intelligence, automation, and control, all from a single pane of glass. This right here is where things get really, really powerful. All right, pay attention because this slide is the key to this entire solution. Let's break it down. At the very top, you have Cisco vManage. That's the brain of the operation, the single orchestrator for the whole thing. Now that blue line at the bottom, that's the Cisco SD-WAN fabric. This is our intelligent overlay that gives us end-to-end security, application-aware routing, and consistent policy. And in the middle, you have the SDCI provider's cloud fabric, our high-performance underlay. Now here is the magic. vManage doesn't just manage the overlay, it actually reaches down and automates the creation of the underlay connections through the SDCI provider. It builds one seamless, fully automated network all the way from the branch to the cloud.
So how does this integration actually happen on a technical level? This part is incredibly clever. Through vManage, you can actually deploy virtual Cisco SD-WAN routers directly inside the SDCI provider's points of presence. These then become what we call Interconnect gateways, and they effectively extend your secure SD-WAN fabric right into the heart of the provider's global backbone. This gives you a totally seamless, high-performance on-ramp from any of your sites to any cloud you need to reach.
The benefits of having this tight integration are just huge. You get a true single pane of glass in vManage for end-to-end automation, which just massively cuts down on manual work and those pesky configuration errors. You can extend your security policies, like VPN segmentation, consistently from a user sitting in a branch office all the way to a workload running in the cloud. You get those major cloud egress cost savings we talked about, and of course, you get the deep application visibility that Cisco SD-WAN is famous for, letting you monitor and prioritize over 1,500 different apps across this whole integrated fabric.
So far, we've been talking about SDDI providers in a general sense. But now, let's get specific. It's time for a deep dive into the two key partners that Cisco vManage integrates with directly, Megaport and Equinix.
Now, these two partners have slightly different models, but both are incredibly powerful. Megaport operates as a pure network-as-a-service platform. Think of them as a totally neutral connector. Their global fabric can link you from over 100 different data center operators, which gives you just immense flexibility. Equinix, on the other hand, takes more of a platform approach. They combine their own world-class colocation data centers with virtual networking services and their global backbone, the Equinix fabric. So your choice might come down to whether you want pure connectivity as a service or a more tightly integrated data center and network platform. Taking a closer look at Megaport, the core of the Cisco integration is their Megaport Virtual Edge, or MVE. That's the service where you'll deploy your virtual Cisco SD-WAN gateway. But their Megaport Cloud Router, or MCR, is another absolute game changer. It lets you route traffic directly between different cloud providers, say from AWS over to Azure, without hairpinning that traffic. And that means you don't have to drag it all the way back to your on-prem data center first, which is a massive, massive win for multi-cloud efficiency. Now, let's switch gears and look at the Equinix architecture. Here, you can see virtual SD-WAN routers deployed inside Equinix data centers, one in the US, one in Singapore, using their Network Edge service. The super powerful Equinix fabric is acting as the private global backbone that connects them. These gateways then connect out to regional branches, extending that SD-WAN overlay across the entire globe, all over a private underlay. This whole setup, which would have taken a huge team months and months to build physically, is orchestrated from Cisco vManage in a matter of minutes. It's incredible. The Equinix integration really shines when it comes to reliability and scale. By deploying devices in multiple strategic data centers, you can easily build in this inherent active/active redundancy for both your sites and your cloud connections. You get that same incredible on-demand connectivity and centralized visibility through vManage, but now it's all running over the highly available global Equinix fabric. But most importantly, this entire thing is wrapped in end-to-end automation, which makes what used to be insanely complex global deployments actually simple to manage. Whew, we have covered a lot of technical ground. So for this final section, let's bring it all together and focus on the practical stuff, the use cases. This is all about how we put this technology to work to solve actual business problems. This is the big question, right? It's the one every IT leader is trying to answer. We need to speed up our cloud migration, but how on earth do we do that while guaranteeing the performance that our users and our applications absolutely demand? Well, the answer is SDCI. When it comes to cloud migration, you remove the single biggest bottleneck, that months-long wait for traditional circuits, by connecting to any cloud provider you want in minutes. If you're running a multi-cloud strategy, you can now manage all your connections to all your providers from one central spot. And for those big global companies, you can strategically place these virtual network hubs close to your users around the world, guaranteeing high performance for your critical apps no matter where your people are. Okay, here's another really common scenario. It's not always just about the cloud. How do you better connect your own sites to each other and guarantee performance for things like voice and video, applications that are just incredibly sensitive to latency? And this is where SDCI provides the solution too. While it's obviously fantastic for site-to-cloud, its power really shines for site-to-site connectivity. Using your Cisco SDWAN policies, you can intelligently route your most critical traffic, like that voice and video, over the high-performance SDCI underlay between your sites. This makes absolutely sure your latency-sensitive apps always get the performance they need, which guarantees a great end-user experience. So when you step back and look at the whole thing, what's the big picture here? Cisco SD-WAN Cloud Interconnect isn't just about getting a faster or cheaper pipe to the cloud. It's really about building an agile, automated, and secure network foundation that can truly power and accelerate your company's entire digital transformation. Thanks so much for watching.